All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Two Fat Guys Talking Flowers, where we're always going to give you the good, the bad, the ugly about flowers. I'm Fern. We got Joelle on the ones and twos. We got Ryan in the house, Mimi in the house, Michael Black is in the house, and our women of floriculture.
Women of flowers.
Women of flowers.
Women of flowers.
The CEO. Amazing. Awesome guest, because Ryan says I said that too much, so I'm going to say it. Our today is none other than Liza Roeser, CEO of 50 Flowers,
And
Jen Barnard, the director of customer experience.
No. Wait.
Cut me off?
Wait. You call that an intro? Nah. Fern,
hell
let
no.
me show you how it should be done. All right, fatties. Welcome to another fresh episode of Two Fat Guys Talking Flowers, where we're bringing you the good, the bad, and the ugly about flowers. Mike is in the house, Mimi, Ryan, Joel are in the house, and Fern is here too, for now. And today we have two amazing, inspiring, tech-savvy guests, Liza Roeser and Jennifer Barnard of 50 Flowers. How do you like them apples, Fern? Booyah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You got replaced.
I'm sorry. No.
Was
AI cannot replace me.
That was an AI thing?
That's
Yes.
the AI coming for Fern's job.
Incredible.
well,
Okay.
We had to sub him
How-
in for the intro for last week's episode, so he wants to stick around. He said,
yeah, but how appropriate. It's the three AI experts of the industry.
That's right. That's right.
AI can try, but you cannot
these-
replace the Fern.
These three are going to take the AI, the flower industry to like the cutting edge of the AI industry. You know what I mean? Because it's crazy. Like every time you see, they're always up there.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well,
you guys are doing a great job with that. You guys
We
are
got to join.
definitely-
We got to join the movement.
Mhm.
Join the movement.
"It's coming.
know.
It's happening."
It's already happening. Did you hear about chat? That it now has a memory.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
And comically enough, in our tech stakeholder meeting yesterday, we were talking about ChatGPT with people who have a PhD in machine learning, and they're mind blowing. They're like the really smart people.
Mhm.
And I was able to lean in and be like, no, it doesn't have a memory, and and debate with our CTO. And sure enough, this morning, the headlines are ChatGPT remembers.
It
You
makes
see,
sense.
guys, that's the beginning of Skynet. That is how the Terminator happens.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to keep
Just
hanging out with
saying.
these three because the Terminator is going to be their friend. And
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys got an inside track to Skynet, let me tell you.
they'll
It's
protect
just a
us.
lot of, it's practice. Practice makes perfect, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like AI is making me a little bit more organized, not just because of because I guess if you do something so many times, you're starting to learn the organizational skills from it, and I think ChatGPT and all the AI is helping me with that. So I'm okay with it.
I don't like what it did to my emails on my phone.
What did it do to your phone?
Because when you have 1,000 emails and you're looking at your phone, it says different stuff. And it's confusing.
You're talking about that.
yeah,
I
it
love
does.
that. I love
Yeah.
that.
No.
Yeah.
Gives you like a summary now.
Okay. I just turned on a brand new, well, it's not brand new. I've had it on my computer, but I just used it to clean out my inbox. It's called Superhuman. Anyone use it?
No.
It is phenomenal. And then there's another one called Fixer that I tested this past week, which is it's a different type of tool, but that one writes your emails back for you.
Ooh.
And it'll give you an opposing as well as an agreeing email. So you get to choose. Yeah.
Did the one that you downloaded for cleaning up your emails, did it delete something? I mean, how do you know it doesn't delete something important? Like, 'cause
Well,
I'm always
I had-
scared to do those with the phone, with the photos and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
No, I hear you, Mimi. So about 6 weeks ago, I really do a lot of testing. I do not call myself an AI expert. Sometimes I call myself an AI ding dong because I just test. That's how I learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have to get my hands on.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I really did this. And I think that Allie, my business partner in Ecuador, is going to kill me when I say this, but I downloaded, I'm constantly testing. And one morning on Monday, we woke up and our entire business calendar was annihilated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I have a feeling it was an AI tool I put on. So be cautious. Cautious. And, back to superhuman, I had about 17,000 emails in my inbox and it went through and cleaned it up and it just stores them in a different place. So
I
they're
need
still
that.
there.
That's what I need.
They're just cleaned up.
Nope.
Organize them.
I
There
need
we
it.
go.
The other night, I couldn't send emails because it was like full.
We're
It said it
gonna-
was full.
Yeah.
We're gonna ding dong AI you.
And then half my shit was gone the next day. Like I couldn't find it. I needed all this stuff. Like I had to review a bunch of stuff for the building, and it was back from July of last year.
Mm.
And I had it there.
archived. It archived it.
Yeah, but I can't find it.
Oh,
We
man.
can't find it.
That
There-
sucks.
Yeah.
Huh.
I need a superhuman.
Well, we're
It's
gonna.
called
all do.
superhuman. It's a
Yeah.
great tool. It's a great tool.
Yeah, I need that. But I
feel like
don't
I
get
should-
it. Where do you have the time to do all this testing? Like you're always on the go.
You're here.
Yeah.
You're in. You're on the TV. You're
You're
flying
everywhere.
everywhere. You're
Yeah.
in
Just
Ecuador. I mean,
everywhere.
seriously.
Yeah. I find time for what's important and I prioritize. And I know that adapting AI to my life is going to make me more effective.
Mm.
And so when I'm looking at this big, huge list to do, there are a couple things that I lean in. First off, it takes a team. It really does take a team. And you surround yourself with smarter people, then you become smarter
Absolutely.
instantly. I'm not the smartest person in the room. I'm a little girl from Texas that dreams a lot. And, I have I love that that we can speak clearly, and this is rated X. Okay.
Yeah.
So last week I went on a retreat and, it was with my group, my entrepreneur group, and I came out with a theme. And my theme is FF, like 50 flowers, but this one is fuck fear.
Ooh,
And
nice.
I am not going to be afraid of anything anymore.
Yeah.
Is there some one fear that's really like holding you back right now?
Or there was.
Yeah. She's called my itty bitty shitty committee. And she's in my brain. And anything that I can start to tell myself a story, that's when it's like, oh no, I can't wear my suede shoes today because it might rain. Yeah, whatever. Last night I went to see Wicked, and before I was at my bankers invited us to hear some of the cast speak. And here I am in this room with all of these, really important business people, and we got to ask them questions. And, of course, raise my hand first, but then no one else raised their hand. So I was just like, okay, can we just have a dialogue? And if I would have sat back and really thought like, you can only ask one question, that's what's appropriate, it would have held me back.
Right.
But no, I got to ask like, what keeps you passionate? Like y'all are traveling. They're from Broadway, they're from New York. And I got to ask all these incredible entrepreneurial questions and like team, like that's a lot of personalities in there. How do you what's the tools that you use? It was a great dialogue. But if I would have listened to the itty bitty shitty committee, I wouldn't have been able to ask those questions.
Right. That's true. We all have one of those,
Yeah.
right? You guys got one of those too?
Yeah.
Man, there's a couple of them in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I said committee.
It's like a common
okay.
theme when we meet with women of flowers. It's like a common theme that we, especially for women, we all have all this going on in our mind constantly. And it's when you're going to shut it off and turn it on and shut it off, and it never stops. And Liza just goes constantly.
Yeah.
I think it's good to have a little fear when we're doing certain, especially expensive decisions. I think it's good to
You
have
got
fear.
Mike in that week.
And
Yeah.
But when you push through it and you actually proved yourself right that it wasn't something to be afraid of, it makes it more easy for the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
they always come back. It doesn't ever let you go free. It's always
No.
coming back.
No, it's always there. And, right now, there's a lot that we can sit and we can buy into and get really nervous about.
Oh, yeah.
When we think about it, we've got the Kines Mas Macho going on with
Mhm.
world flowers right now.
Yeah.
And you lean in and you say, okay, we're in the process right now of hiring 2 really key players for our leadership team. And you look back and you say, are people going to be able to afford to buy flowers?
Right.
But you take a step back and you think about it, and it's like, if I sit and I think about it, I mean, 50 Flowers, we've created ourselves just like y'all. We're not VC funded like the other .coms that are out there. The penny bank goes into my penny bank. And if we really go sour and people do not buy flowers because we are a luxury item, we're not eggs, which are crazy expensive right now. That fear, if I start to listen to that fear, it will hold us back. And the way that I manage 50 Flowers is, where do we want to be in 5 years? And let's staff and let's organize and let's make the investments today, just like y'all. Mm-hmm. I mean, y'all are moving into a state-of-the-art, huge building. And I'm sure there's a lot, Mike, going on in your head right now.
Let's put it lightly.
Yeah.
That is an understatement, if you ask.
Yeah.
But we got finally a really good news today, and we passed our final fire inspection, and that's the hard one. So Monday and
Hell yeah.
so Monday and Tuesday could be a couple more inspections, but the contractor says are more of a formality than anything else, and then maybe sometime next week we can begin the process of transitioning overnight.
Well, first off, congratulations on that, because I feel like we came in on the tail end. Like our relationship is starting to bloom on the tail end of all the hard work that it's gone through, and getting inspections done. I've been there, done that, and you're nail biting because it's not up to you,
right?
And you can only hope that they did it right.
And it's a domino effect. If one thing is delayed, then everything else is after that's delayed.
Yeah. I mean, we've been delayed for just the dumbest shit. I mean, things that you would never think of, like a crane permit from the FAA. Who would ever thought of that? Not me. I had no idea.
Of course.
It took a month.
Yeah.
It took a month.
We were all fired at that time.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
But
well,
good news is we are where we are. And
that's great. So are we projecting, if all goes well, you're going to make the before Mother's Day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. At the very least, the
so
warehouse.
happy for y'all.
At the very least, the warehouse will be there. Hopefully, everything will be there. But my main goal is to get the warehouse over there, and then everything else will follow.
After the warehouse is in, we'll work day and night and get everybody over there.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes is we're going to do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, like true tried in the flower industry, you will make it happen, because that's what we do every single day.
Plus, Mike is like you, Liza, with the teams. Like, he's got the team of people that are going to back up. I mean, I'll put anything in my little tiny Hyundai Kona as much as I can fit. Everybody's ready to go. Like, we are going to, I mean, just seeing you two together always now, it makes me so happy, because it's like the perfect dynamic duo, right?
Yeah.
Like, energy wise
Right.
and stuff like that. But, we've had this conversation. Like, Mike is the same. Like, people are going to be there because of how Mike leads. So it's fun.
Yeah. Passion makes a difference.
Passion makes a huge difference. My son is ready to come move. He's just going to try and eat pizza the whole time.
He's going to talk to all the women.
He will stop and talk to all the women and eat pizza, but he's ready to help us move. Like, we're ready. Like, let's go.
Let's go.
Joel, you got any gym buddies that want to come?
Yeah, we need Joel's gym buddies. That's true.
Yeah, I'll bring some people. And the salsa class.
The salsa class.
Yeah,
it's like 80 people. That's a lot of people.
It's
like a
lot. Nobody will get any work done.
Liza, Jen, you would love this story. Joel's now starting to take salsa classes.
He's advanced level now.
Yes.
Since we started like 2 months ago, he's already advanced level.
But Joel's kind of like shy, and so now I've seen him change as a person with this class, and it's amazing. Now they have a big group of people, and they all go out. They do salsa in the middle of Twin Peaks, which is crazy. Like, it's awesome. I love that.
What do you mean
Love
Twin
that.
Peaks? What?
Twin Peaks is a restaurant. It's
restaurant.
It's like
Okay.
Like Hooters.
He knows.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was Latin
It wasn't.
No, it's
their
not.
class just like rented out one of the rooms and
That's
they
why.
were dancing.
That's why I said it's ironic. Like in Twin Peaks, you're not going to listen to salsa in Twin Peaks, but these guys don't even need music anymore. They're just dancing in Twin Peaks.
I love that.
They got music in
I
their
love
heads.
that.
It's beautiful.
So I want to make a confession. I was waiting
Oh.
for this podcast.
Uh-oh.
So I have known of 50 Flowers forever. I can't even put a number of years on it, but it's been a lot of years. And I know that Jet Fresh has sold a box or two over those years to 50 Flowers, but it wasn't, like it was like a, emergency thing or whatever. And I would see Liza at different shows, and I saw her in California in San Diego at that beautiful house on the beach, and she's always got people around her. She's always got people talking with her. She's
a people magnet.
She's a person that people want to talk to. People want to know her. And I was like, well, I never thought like I would kind of click in there. I never thought I would. And then we were in Next Gen, and I was walking in the park at a scavenger hunt with
Allie.
With Allie, her business partner in Ecuador, and I guess both of us were not too interested on scavenger hunting, but we were just walking and just struck up a conversation, and it was really casual. It was like, just two people talking shop like we're doing right now, and it was like it was cool. And from there, Jen reached out and said, hey, we're going to be in Miami, and we want to come by and check out your place and look at the Choco Roses and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, cool. That's cool. And I really didn't, even then, I didn't think like that was going anywhere. And I'm pretty open about stuff when I want to confess. So, and then we were here, and we were looking at the Choco Roses, and we were talking about, different things. And I started saying, man, now I understand why all these people are always around her. Now I get it. And we were talking, and I was going to be in Ecuador, and she was going to be in Ecuador, but I was flying home the day that she was going to be there. And I said, well, if you want to come by the farm, I'll change my ticket. And she said, yeah. And I changed my ticket. And sure enough, she showed up at the farm with Allie, and we spent a whole day together. And we really didn't like talk about buyers and sellers that much. It was more like, let's get to know you. Let's get to understand what you're about and what, each another's business. I got to learn her history, how she even got to Ecuador in the beginning. Anyway, I got a lot of stuff. And I want to confess that I want to be on those people that stand around you at all those shows now. Because you're like, we are very like-minded in a lot of ways. And I mean,
I saw the little sparkle in Mike's eyes when we were sitting there in your office and you and Liza were talking, and I could tell like there was some assumptions, and I could see like the little light bulb go off on Mike and saw the little twinkle eye.
But Jen, you and I knew that they were gonna be good together.
Yeah.
Like Jen and I knew it, and it was like we're twins on music and other stuff, but we knew that these two needed to like really sit down and talk, because we were like, they're too much alike. Like the passion's there, the surround. Yeah.
I'm really grateful, and if we could do business together, that's gonna be great. But if we don't, I just want to be your friend. I'm cool with it. I was really impressed with everything. She's fluent in Spanish. She's, talking with everybody in the farm, and I'm so impressed. I'm like, this is so cool. This is really good. And I just wanted to say, I'll give you a virtual hug right here to both of you ladies. Thank you very much for that. And no, you got your man in Miami when you need him right here. That's for sure.
Oh, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
You know what's really funny? God did that.
AI did that.
It's going to stop me from crying because you just put me in my most humble spot. I go back to, it's industry. It's interesting, this industry. First off, I'm very humbled, Mike, by that, because it means so much to me as a person to hear from such a leader in this industry that I'm that important, okay? Because I'm really not. I go back to, I'm this little girl from Texas that had a spark, and a dream. And I just started talking a lot and moving and shaking and built around. We've known of each other, right? And I've Jet Fresh, y'all are everywhere. I mean, y'all are icons, you're leaders. And the synergy between your culture that you've created and our culture, the more and more I peeled back the layers, the more intrigued I got. And sitting in your office, in the office y'all are in right now, there was a lot that went on in my spirit in that office. And one of them was gratitude, because I'm getting to know some phenomenal people in this industry. And just like what you say, if we do business together or not, you always have a friend with us. And I have to just say, I'm very grateful for Jen, because Jen and Mimi, those are the two that you two women are just these powerhouses. You're these huge connectors and lights that bring so much wisdom and just warmth to this industry. And this industry is about emotions. It is about helping people connect and feel comfortable in the comfortable and the uncomfortable. I'm truly humbled to hear what you just said about me, because I'm that silly person that'll walk in a room and talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And I always have pure intentions. And I think that's a common goal of ours, is I want you to feel good at the end.
Yeah.
Business is business. We can all make money.
When you guys left the office here, I don't know who I called first, but I called everybody and said, "Man, we had it all wrong. These people are our kind of people, and we need a. It was good. It was really good.
I think it needed a little of the FF, right? Factor, like the fuck it fear. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, and I think that was awesome that you guys had that opportunity. I was mad because I couldn't be here, but I'm so grateful for Jen too because of that. Because I kept saying, like, when Jen and I were talking about it, we're like, they have to, like
we got to get them together. It's just good people. Our business is relationships and, good people.
But Liza nailed it.
Absolutely.
Liza nailed it by saying exactly that. Pure intentions, which I've never thought of it that way. But Mike and Liza are very, just with Women in Flowers, it's pure intentions, right? Like, you're not getting anything out of this.
Is Mike and Women in Flowers? I'm not allowed in.
Oh, are you going to get jealous now?
I'm absolutely be jealous because I'm not allowed in, apparently.
Maybe
Mike. You can come join.
Yes, you see?
No, Liza.
No, that would be a mistake.
Yeah, I think it will be.
Like, she invited Juanita to join.
Yeah.
And she's,
You guys have an amazing group of people, and the synergy that is in the Women of Flowers it's amazing. And the synergy goes everywhere. And the scarves and the group pictures and at any convention or any group, you guys, it took me 45 minutes to take a picture of all of you guys in Las Vegas because you guys were so busy just like talking shop and, hey, what's going on with this? And did you read the book? And do you have this going on? It took 45 minutes to get a group picture.
I have to say
of the Women in Flowers.
One
it
thing
was
about
amazing.
this, and then I think that really Liza and Jen should talk, but every time I go to a meeting or a meetup, I meet somebody new. And I didn't think that was possible. Like, I really didn't think that was possible. I'm like, this industry's not that big. I've been here for 15, 16 years. Come on, no way. But every time I go to a book club and you guys put us in the breakout rooms, I meet somebody new. And I'm like, wow.
New every time. Yeah, it's amazing. And then you go to we go to these events and the meet and greet, and then you get to meet them in person, which I think is amazing. Like, we've met virtually, and then we were at WFSET and we met so many people in person that we had already been meeting every month virtually.
Yeah. I'm so excited. Yeah.
So we got a lot to talk about today, but we need to go back. We need to go all the way back. Yeah. You need to tell us how you came up with the concept for 50 Flowers, please.
Well, I was a Peace Corps volunteer. Then I fell into the flower industry. And believe it or not, I ran an accounting department for Trans International at first. And it was, I go back and I'm like, I'm not a head accountant, but I was a head accountant for about 6 months. And then I was like, I want to get on the flower side. So I got on the flower side. I worked for a couple different farms. Then I was like, you know what? All of these blooms that I'm looking at, and this is way back. I mean, we're talking 28 years ago is when I got in the industry.
You started before there were child labor laws. I got that.
Yeah, exactly. I wish. Just think of the energy I would have now in the brain, because, it all just starts to get complicated. But back then, I would be looking at, this is back when Madam and Corolla were going through their variety fights, who had the genetic material. And back then I was like, I've got to get these flowers to the wholesalers, because I go visit all the wholesalers and they were like, yeah, we just have red roses. I'm like, wait, we have this red rose. It's called Classy. Worst red rose ever. But man, was I the biggest, cheerleader.
Fastest opener on the block, let me tell you.
If it opened at all.
If it opened, it opened
and if it
fast.
stayed red.
Yeah. Right.
And the head stayed on. Better yet, let's just talk about the structural component of it. But
it came
back
to
then,
a little point in the head. The head had a little point.
No good.
No, it would open and be pink on the inside. There was everything wrong about it, but it was new and it was different. And I preached that, like, guys, girls, we gotta understand this. And also, I find this so interesting. 28 years ago, I visited all the Denver wholesale florists, and I brought a PowerPoint along with me to explain to these people, our people in the industry that had never seen a greenhouse, never seen a farm, and explain to them, this is where your flowers come from, and this is all the process it goes through to get to you, just to be the floral educator at that point. And that's how Farm Exports, which is our first brand, where we sell to luxury floral events and wholesalers, importers around the world. We're now more concentrated in the United States than we are outside of the United States. And then after, reaching, our first 7 figure, I was like, there's more to do here. And the internet came along and I was like, oh, let me learn about the internet. And then I was like, we're going to sell online, because I'm sitting back and waiting for people to adapt to all these new varieties, where I just want to bring them to the world so they can see them. And, that's when the online business started.
What year was that, roughly?
2000.
Wow.
2000 is when I first started building 50 flowers. And, it's a really funny story. I dabbled in fruit. Farm Exports used to have a logo that had an apple and grapes in it and flowers in the middle. And I exported a couple containers of fruit. And then I was like, that's not what we're going to do. But I worked at PMA, which is now called, it's the supermarket show. I don't know the name.
In International
IFTF?
PM, I can't even get it together right now. Yeah.
I know. It's a big acronym, but it used to be called Produce Marketing Association. And I worked for an apple grower, a Michigan apple grower, and did some marketing with them. And their techie who did all their website, or was, starting the website, I hired him along with a graphic designer. I flew him down to Ecuador and I said, let's build a website, guys. And that's where it all started. And that's where I learned that graphic designers, and this is back then, now it's so much easier, but back then, your tech people and your graphic designers were like the USA and China today over Twitter.
They don't. No.
You started that in 2000.
During Y2K.
I didn't buy anything online. I buy everything online right now. If I can't get it online, I'm not going to a store. I go to a store to please Barbie, to please my wife. That's the only reason I go to stores. If not, I buy it online. But wow, that's impressive.
Can any of you guys remember the first things you bought online?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I can't think of it.
I can't think of what did you buy?
I
online?
actually have a receipt that I have printed of Amazon when it was a bookstore, guys.
Ah, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So cool.
That's really cool.
My first thing was we rented that cabin upstate New York, which is where my house is now.
That's
which
crazy.
is what that's awesome.
That was on AOL, and you fuckers kept picking up the phone. You guys kept picking up the phone while I was trying to download the pictures.
Oh, do you remember
that's
that?
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember because it took forever.
Joel,
And my house,
Joel
5
doesn't
kids.
Has no
get his
idea.
reference.
I was trying to get it, but I didn't get
The
it.
internet line and the phone line were the same, so you couldn't
Yeah.
do both
Oh,
at
yeah.
the same time.
Yeah.
That's
So you would be downloading, like, for me, the first thing I never bought anything, but I used to download. So Napster, LimeWire, and Napster, downloading music. But you'd be downloading a CD and you get 90%, and someone picks up the phone and you lost everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it'd take you an
That's what
hour,
happened.
2 hours to get that information back downloaded.
My God, but Mike, you had 5 kids. That would be horrible.
Never,
You'd never
you
be able
never
to
got
stop.
anything.
The phone never stopped. It's either they're calling their friends or their friends are calling them, or it's a school calling because one of them's in trouble, or
Those were
Or-
simple fun
yeah.
times.
or it was
Yeah.
who
Simple
else was calling
problems, let me
Publishers
tell
Clearinghouse would call us every day.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And now
Ed
they're
McMahon.
bankrupt. Yeah.
Sad.
I got a lot of CDs out of those people, let me tell you. That's why they're
Remember,
bankrupt.
and if you didn't send your CDs back in your window, you were overcharged.
Yeah.
Big time.
Oh yeah.
Those people are probably still chasing me for money, but it's okay.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I interrupted you. My bad.
I think it's also
No, it's
interesting
okay.
that I don't really think you mentioned it that you were in Ecuador this entire time.
Oh yeah, I was in Ecuador the entire time,
Very cool.
living there.
Yeah.
Yeah, breakdancing with like the presidents.
Literally breakdancing. I mean,
Literally, I went to the Minister of Commerce, her Yvonne Baki. I was really good friends with her chief of staff and her son and daughter, and was invited to do all these great fun things. That's how I did flowers for Miss Universe.
gotcha.
Oh, that's awesome.
Are there
And-
elections
yeah,
today in Ecuador? Aren't there
Isn't it
elections?
this weekend? I thought it was this weekend.
Oh, this weekend.
Yeah.
It's this weekend. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be fun down there.
Hmm.
And that's not to go on, my ADD brain is going to kick in, but living in Ecuador and going through the coups and like the Ad de la Bucaram and everything, it kind of prepared me for today. And that's
Yeah.
kind of the beauty of age,
Yeah.
right, Mike? Like been there, done that. Check.
Absolutely.
Knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
It really is. That's why I can't stop reading too.
I'm curious, do you think it would have been easier or harder to start it in the U.S. versus Ecuador? Would it have made it any easier?
Okay, I'm going to get really raw right now.
Mhm. Go for it.
And authentic. Okay. We talked about this itty bitty shitty committee in your head. When you're living in a country that's not your country and you can totally screw up and no one and pack up and leave, there is a part of it that made it easier.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nobody back home was judging you or what you were doing.
Exactly. No one could, and if they spoke to me, it was in a language that I understood. There's also the challenges of, and we've all been to Ecuador. And if you haven't been to Ecuador or outside of the country, there is culture does make a huge difference.
Mhm. Big difference.
And that saying, when in Rome, act like the Romans.
Mhm.
Well, I did not act like the Ecuadorians, which was also a competitive advantage.
Gotcha. Very cool.
It's like when we bought the farm and we tried to do nicer things and provide more things at no cost to the employees, and
They were skeptical.
they were suspicious. Like,
Oh,
why are you
yeah.
doing this nice things for
Yeah.
me? What's the catch? It
They
took a
don't
long
know-
time.
Mm-hmm. It does. Be nice to people in Ecuador. I remember the first time I saw someone scream at a human being screaming at another human being. It was a boss to an employer to an employee. And, I just walked up and I was like, what are you doing? Like, you can't treat people like that. And this person looked at me and said, oh, sweetie, you're in Ecuador. This is the way people are used to. And I was like, I don't care where I am. I will never treat anyone disrespectfully like you just did. And if I told you the dynamics of who that was and when that was, you would be laughing. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was still a college student at the time, by the way, or graduated. I hadn't moved to Ecuador yet then.
So what
and
was...
Mike,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. Ladies first, always.
Well, I was just going to say, Mike, doesn't it feel good to be able to provide just a balanced, wholesome work environment for, and I'm going to call a spade for women in Ecuador?
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot different than here. And there are women that are working in the farm that are in management roles or leadership roles now that were not when we bought the farm, and it's been fun to watch them grow. And actually met even you met Marlene who runs our post harvest. She actually this is her second go at it. The first go at it wasn't great, but we felt like she has what it takes, and we encouraged her to try it again, and she's been more than successful on the second round. And I mean, you could go on the Facebook and you'll see her. She gets everybody in the post harvest and they do this dance. And they're having fun, listening to music and stuff. And I always send her messages encouraging her because it's just she's doing great. But when they, you could tell that the people appreciate the changes that we've made for them by the way that they are affectionate with you. Like they want to give you a hug, not a handshake. They want to grab a picture with you and share with their families or hey, look, I was with a gringo today. I mean, it's like it's different. It's different feeling for me. And like, I mean, you saw our place. I ain't getting rich growing roses. It is not happening because the farm is not only important for us to provide better things and a better environment, but it's more of a responsibility now for the people. It's not just only buying and selling and growing roses. It's like we're responsible for these people. And these are people mostly that live in the countryside that really don't have much. Like every Christmas we have a raffle. And a woman last Christmas, my wife and I, we dress up as Mama and Papa Noel, and we have this whole thing, and it's awesome. And the kids, there's 75 kids there, and the kids a lot of them have never really sat on Santa's lap before or whatever. And the families all love that, and my family loves doing it. And all the leaders in the company in Ecuador, they all dress up as elfos, and we all go around and we come in the hippie bus and Santa comes out and it's just a real thing. But at the end, there's a raffle. And like any one of us can go to Walmart and buy, a 42-inch TV for a couple $100 and it's not a big deal. It's just a TV. It's for our kids' room. This woman won the TV and she broke down hysterically crying. She was so emotionally happy that she has a new TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are the things that we take for granted here. Like, my TV broke. I go to I can't wait for my TV to be broken so I can go buy a new one, a better one, a bigger one. I can't wait.
But I guarantee she cried more about the human connection, the fact that somebody cared enough to give that TV to her.
She won it.
Yeah, or that she won it. Right. But the action, right? Like, I think a lot of our emotions are connected with that. Like, you know?
But no, hold on. It goes a little beyond that because I got the pleasure. Mike took me down for Christmas a couple years ago to be at the farm during the party. I had never been there. And it is an emotional roller coaster. It's an emotional roller coaster when you see the pure joy in these kids' faces. And you see that everything that the farm does that for us in the States, it's pretty normal. It's pretty normal. It's almost expected, right? It's almost expected of a company to go to do these things. And everything we're doing, people, I can't explain how happy the people were. And when they win the raffle, the pure joy, the scream, it's almost like an 8-year-old girl on Christmas that got an American Girl doll. Like it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling, and the kids watching Papa Noel, Mama Noel, and that year they had somebody come out and dress up as the Grinch, and some kids loved it. Some kids loved it, and some kids were terrified, and it was wow, what an amazing moment to see and to be able to spend with the people that help us day in, day out at the farm. I mean, it's a moment you have to experience. I really can't give you
It's
an
addictive.
explanation.
Yeah.
It's addictive. You just you can't wait to see people, and you used to be walking in the field. You're just in the greenhouses, and then there's someone doing some work in one of the beds, and you just stop and you say hi to them, and they're like just so like it's just I just appreciate them, and I think a lot of people take it for granted. I tell you, before I was a grower myself. Now I'm way more sympathetic to the growing process and to the farms and to everybody, because I was a hard ass before. Like, you send me small head roses, I'm adjusting your price, or I want to return them. I would, but now I'm sympathetic because I'm doing it too, and I understand. But
Gain it perspective.
yeah, but we're doing something special. And I'm sure that other owners of farms and growing flowers around the world are also feel that way too. And it isn't about money at all. Like it's great if you can be profitable because that's the law. You need to be, but it's greater that you can teleport what you do here in Miami with your people and try to do it in Ecuador, where people in the countryside, they don't have much, and they're happy not having much. I mean, that the farm is their livelihood. That's where they can grow without having a lot of education and whatever. But the younger generation are all going to school now. They're becoming professionals. And Juanita has opened the door for women that are studying agronomy and learning to be technicians. And
we just got a new one right in the farm.
Yeah, we hired one, but she's opened the door for them to intern.
Right, that's amazing.
Intern, learn, and coach.
Amazing.
Young women who are going into a mainly men segment.
Oh, the
There's
agronomist
mainly
culture,
men in that position. So, if Juanita can give the women a bump, she's going to do it. And I find that it's completely opposite here. Here, most of the leadership is male. And in our farm and many other farms, a lot of the leadership is female in Ecuador.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. And I don't know what we're talking about. I just started blobbing. Sorry.
Which you should, because you're brilliant and you're breaking barriers, is what I would say, that when we're passionate about our industry and we're down in Ecuador, we're hiring and we're giving. And I love how you say it's not about making money. It's really not about making money. In fact, I didn't even realize what I had created until I went through a divorce and had to sit down and put everything on paper. And I was like, nah, that's not me. That's not me. And then it's like, wait, wow, I need to give more and build more. And it was a really, truly, the reason why I wake up every day is, I can name people on our team that I love how you say, this is her second go around. We've got one of those on our team that I actually fired somebody and then hired her back. And she started with me when she was 18. And to be able to see what been able to do with her life because of, our business is pretty darn incredible. And that's why I work. That, and it's just smiles. It's like we create more smiles in every little area of our business, of what we do. And that's the driver behind everything. And that's the synergy in this industry. You know, we're lucky. We get to create smiles just by delivering flowers.
Yeah.
You know, I was on another podcast in the wedding industry, Destination I Do. And the lady, she's a brilliant entrepreneur. She was like, oh yeah, I worked in flowers. I had the best job. You know, I worked at local floral shop. I got to deliver the flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is the best job.
If you can handle the parking issues and the driving stress, then the rest of it is great.
Jen, was that your best part working inside the florist?
I actually never delivered, but you know, growing up in a flower shop, like as a kid, that's what I got to do. My dad would pull up and I was like the runner. I would run the flowers. You know, the best part was Mother's Day and like nursing homes, like going into the nursing home and just see the smiles. That's why I love Pedal It Forward. I just, you know, giving flowers is just, you know me, I love flowers and I love the joy that flowers bring.
Tell us more about your past there.
Oh, I'm true flower child, you know, grew up in a family business and all the holidays, you know, my parents would pull me out of my classes to work Valentine's Day. And,
Love that.
you know,
we gotta go with what's important there. Flowers.
yeah. Staying up all night. Yeah.
So hold on.
And
Then
I joined SAF and met Liza, and I just saw like really SAF really brought like more like Mike, when you talked about the perspective of like getting on the farms, it just really helped me appreciate all the different channels and all the different segments.
Yeah.
And just because I'm just like, I love flowers, I wanted to learn more. And I just wanted more. I wanted to learn more about the industry.
Were you two on a committee together, or
we were on the board together?
on the board?
SAF.
Oh,
Yeah.
And the marketing committee.
yeah.
But Jen downplays it. She, you know,
Jen is
she
a
like
baddie.
changed her whole life. It, you know,
I did.
the trouble of leaving a family business. You know how hard that is. You know how hard is it to go to your family and tell your family, hey, you know, I'm no longer going to work here. I want to do something different with my life. You know, she had that conversation and literally changed her whole life. I mean, don't downplay it, Jen.
Fear. Yeah, like
No,
talk
don't
about
downplay
all
it.
the stuff that goes in your mind and the fear. Yeah, that was. It's hard leaving a family business for sure.
That's what happened with Mike Jr. too. Same
Yeah.
thing.
Uh-huh.
But I also feel like it's like you've seen those people like, don't worry, lean back and like I'll catch you. Like you had that. Like I was going through the same thing when I left Chrysler and I was with Mike. I was like, okay, I had that picture in my mind, like I can fall back. And I feel like because you had this relationship through SAF with Liza, like you knew you could fall back.
I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. She didn't. She did this all on her own. She FF'd it. Okay.
Oh, I love it. FF.
And she's a brave soul.
Yeah.
And she put everything out on the line for her well-being, which is, I'm going to bring this back to women in flowers, is, you know, we're not taught as women to put our needs first. You know, we don't put our oxygen mask on. And Jen did that. I mean, just for a moment, we got to put the spotlight on her, because she does not like to be in the spotlight and she does not like to brag about herself, but she is a badass.
Oh, for sure. She is a baddie.
Yeah, I like that.
Jen, was there like an aha moment or like a final straw or something like that like kind of pushed you into it?
You know, like I want to be respectful, but you know, a couple years I really let God lead my life. And I just had this inkling like that I was supposed to do more. And I really felt like there was more for me, and the business, I just didn't see myself taking over the business. The dynamics, there was things, and I was having a lot of struggles within the family business and the dynamics.
It's fucking hard to work for your family.
Yeah.
It's hard, man.
And I believe
it is not easy. You are held to a higher expectation than everybody else. Yeah, I work for my family. My kids work for me. Some are not here anymore because it's hard to work for your family.
Yeah.
It's just hard. It ain't easy.
Yeah. And I believe like if you don't follow God's path for you, like what your calling is, you're going to have struggles. And I was having a lot of struggles, and it was affecting my health and my well-being. So, yeah, I left, and I actually took some time off. And man, our industry, the floral industry, is amazing. Like I tried to really stay quiet, but when more people like understood, like when I left, like we all support each other. That's what's so unique about our industry is we all have each other's back, and we really will support each other. And we
Not
won't
in
let
Miami.
anybody else fall.
No, not in Miami, but probably everywhere else.
But, you know,
Oh,
so there's a lot of groups we're all in, right, Jen? There's, there's the Next Gen group, which is ridiculously supportive. You know, I know there's a lot of groups out there that are a support group. You know, like for me, before I came to work at Jet Fresh, before I came to work with Mike, I was over it. I was like, fuck this. I'll go sell ice to an Eskimo. I'll go sell weed. I'll go do anything else. Anything else but sell another fucking flower. That was my mentality. And it just so happens, call it divine intervention. I walked out of a meeting. I made up my mind at that moment. I made up my mind. My mind was set. And my wheels were turning, and I was going elsewhere. And my next conversation was Michael Black. Just so happens, my next phone call, Michael Black. And something led us to talk, and something led us to a conversation, and conversations with him several times, and conversations with him and mommy at their house, and a dinner at their house made me say, wait a second. Don't leave the industry. Don't go. This is where you're supposed to be. And I get emotional sometimes because I wanted out. I wanted out of this industry. I didn't want to sell another fucking flower. But conversations with Mike and his family and how he does things, and knowing him for the years that I have known him, but not knowing him as a boss, but really talking, changed my entire life. My entire life has been changed. And it's the people you meet and the conversations you have. And when people share their passion and share where you can go and believe in you, it's unbelievable. Sorry.
I didn't cry, but I feel like, wow, that's awesome, Fern. Thanks for opening up.
Wow, sorry.
No, that's awesome.
I could totally cry right now because I believe it. Mike, look at what you've done.
No, and that's legit. You know, it's amazing when you meet the right people and you have open and honest conversations where you can go. The sky's the limit. You know, sky's the limit. And what I've accomplished at Jet Fresh and what the company is going to continue to accomplish is nothing more than flower miracles. Is passionate people who care about what they're doing, sharing those messages.
Yeah, it's because Mike and Liza are talking about making such an impact in Ecuador, but they also make a huge impact here because
worldwide. They're making a worldwide
Liza,
impact.
that team of women, and all the baddies you have over there, they're just amazing and ready to jump on and do things. Like during the Women in Flowers book club, like every single 50 flower member is helpful and makes you feel important. And I think that's just like, you could tell they're 50 flowers. You could just tell immediately. And it's because of that mentality. Like, let's help, like pure intention. Like, I love that because this is what it is. Like,
yeah. And it's really important to find the right people to surround you with because, you know, understanding that it's for the greater good. You know, I do want to just very quickly talk about Women in Flowers and tell you that, you know.
No, please do. I love it.
We're doing all this on the fly. Okay. You know, we don't really know what we're doing. I'm going to be really honest here. You know, we've got, you know, we're researching our platforms. We're going to put this on. You know, Jen and I were talking about how much should we charge for this, for our
retreat.
offsite, our retreat. And I'm like, I don't know. Do you think $100 is enough? And like, we're going through everything that we're put together. Like, do not think that this is formally put together.
okay.
We are faking it till we make it.
I'm so excited, and I'm hoping that me and Celine can make it out there, and maybe even I spoke to a couple people. But can you go back and talk about? So we have the Women in Flowers. The mission is to connect, and you guys go ahead and take it on from here because.
Jen, I'll let you do the mission.
We connect, we empower each other within the floral industry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about flowers. But is not about the biggest variety and where do you buy this.
No,
it's more
but
about.
But it is about having a Rolodex of people who have the pure intentions. Again, like it is
Exactly.
100% because
Absolutely.
we all help each other out. Like, you know, hey, I have this issue. Can anybody help? And it's really, I've been saying this for a long time, and I've been lucky enough to have mentors, but you need to have this to be able to have that safe space to say, I need help on this, or even if it's a personal thing, we've had plenty of personal conversations.
Yeah. And, you know, as we're peeling back the layers, and this is where the experience comes in as well, you know, I'm sitting here going, oh, we need to have bylaws, you know, and I can pull the bylaws together and we'll put them up there. Like there's no soliciting within our group. Like this is not a place to come and say, hey, I want to sell you flowers. Okay. It's a place where you can openly ask and say, oh, do you sell flowers? Can I buy from you? But we're not coming together to just have another marketplace. We're coming together to create this community that breaks barriers. And that when you're struggling, I've already been there and done that. Let me give you a gestalt answer of what I did. And maybe it'll just give you some clarity on how you want to respond instead of just react all on your own in an isolated way. You have a community behind you.
So it's a community. We have an online presence, a physical presence at all of the trade shows and events, floral events. And now, drum roll, please, Joelle. Okay.
You'll hear it. Don't worry, it's there.
Liza, give us the big announcement. What's going on this summer?
Monday, June 16th at noon, we are all coming together for our very first in-person event. And I'm actually really excited about this because we've got some incredible lineups of friends that are going to come in and speak to us. They're not in the flower industry. In fact, they're entrepreneurs. And they've done it, and they've done it big.
Nice.
And they're going to help us understand how do we balance out our lives. And we're going to get to show them the flower industry, which is even more fun, too.
Because where is it at? This is another drum roll.
Jen, take it on.
At the Katie Kanakuk Education Center in Chicago.
Nice.
Yes.
Chi-town.
And shout
Perfect
out
time.
to Lisa from Kennecott for really like coming through with the hotel bookings and all that. Like that's awesome. I mean, this is exactly what this community does is come together.
Yeah. And it's once again, we're peeling back the layers and we're learning as we roll the dice. And, everyone's pitching in. And it's amazing how just pulling your resources together, how we're just, it's easier than harder. Mm-hmm. And of course, we're going to learn and we're going to start, but we're starting. Well,
that's the most important thing. Yeah.
It's really growing. And, we're not just doing it alone. Like Mimi hops on book club every month and we help each other out. And we have different people that host each month on the book club. And it's not just one person doing it. We're really moving it as a community and it's really growing. It's exciting.
And it's not like, they're just picking the books. No, we are all together, like, giving our insight, which is amazing. Because I think that sometimes you need to feel heard, right? And I feel like this sometimes when we log on, I guarantee I cry more there than I cry on the podcast, which is funny. But it's because it opens up. It's not about self-help or about like trying to get better. It's about feeling heard. And I think that that's what this community has brought. So
that's beautiful, Mimi. And it's
Mimi's a
different.
diehard. She'll be there. She's there every month.
I was in the
Yeah.
car during the rain. one
Mimi,
time.
how many book clubs are you a part of?
Guys, I have to say, I just got kicked out of a book club
You got kicked out.
How do you get
Yes.
kicked out?
Kicked out.
because I haven't been making.
You got to read the books.
No, because before I had not that I had so much time on my hand, but I did have a little bit more time, so I
Who
haven't
kicked
been.
you out? Give me their phone number.
Yeah, we want to talk to them.
yeah.
So
I'll call
I'm
them for
down.
you.
I'm down to 3 book clubs, but yeah, it's better that way.
How many meetings did you miss before they kicked you out?
About 6 months.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Okay, you know what I did with my book club here locally in Boise? I was like, guys, I can't be part of a book club that you're going to hold me accountable to anything. Reading the book, I didn't read the book for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
It's a
And-
big commitment
and-
to read a book for some people.
But,
like, you know,
but
it's-
guys, you know what hurts
takes
the
a lot.
most is that they kicked me out after they said, next book club, we're discussing the finale of White Lotus. And then they kicked me out. They sent me a private message and I said, look, there's just too much obstacles in my life right now and I can't commit. But I'm like, but can I come to the last meeting? Because I want to talk about White Lotus.
we're not talking about because I've not seen it yet.
okay.
Ooh,
No,
okay.
I'm not going to. But that's what, hurt the most.
All right, Ryan,
Yeah.
you got some questions.
Okay, answer these as fast as you can. Try not to think them out too hard. Okay? What at your moment?
Then you go first.
We'll go question by question. You can both answer it. That way it'll be
Okay.
easier. What, in your opinion, is the best sandwich?
Reuben.
Turkey and brie. Turkey, brie, green apple. Sorry.
What at the moment is your favorite flower?
Tulip.
Tulip.
What's the scariest
too.
animal? Scariest
Definitely.
animal.
Tulip.
Tulips are great right now.
You should
Scariest
see
animal?
the crazy tulips that are coming through right now.
Love 'em.
You should see them.
So unique.
I love them.
What's the scariest animal?
Hippo, which is actually also my favorite animal.
Good.
I love that.
Jen.
That's her spirit animal. It's official.
I'm gonna send you
spirit
a
animal,
picture.
there you go.
When NFTs came out and were a thing for that brief period, I did a whole bunch of like hippo character drawings that I'm gonna send to you.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
like it.
They look so sweet and innocent.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
boy,
They're all
like
cute and
the
cuddly, but
scariest-
they will eat
They
you.
kill more people in
Yeah.
Africa than any other.
Yeah.
What is the most overrated flower?
Wait, Lisa, what's your scariest animal?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, mine is the Komodo dragon.
Oh.
Anything that
Oh,
can take down a
wow.
water buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah. They scare me.
Yeah, those things are bad.
They have those in
White Lotus.
Yeah.
Do they have them in White Lotus?
I'm sure you've seen
no,
one.
but they have them. They have them in Ecuador. What? Right? They have
Galapagos.
The
No, those
Galapagos?
aren't the
no,
same.
those are
The Galapagos.
monitors.
Those are
Yeah.
Those are just as bad.
Just as bad?
Yeah.
Just as bad.
Mm-hmm.
Just as bad.
They're
like how you
dragons.
guys- I
They're
like these animal
dragons
facts.
from the time of the dinosaurs. They survived. They're
We
still-
have someone. We know
Crocodiles
someone
are
who has one in
dinosaurs.
in their garage.
Yeah, one of my best friends has one in his garage.
Guys,
and
they're gonna
he-
bring
he
back all the
told me-
dinosaurs.
He told me to feed it. He told me to feed it. It's
Scariest
terrifying.
thing.
Would you go to a Jurassic Park right now if they opened it?
No,
No.
no,
No.
They brought
Yeah.
back
No, I would
the
not.
wolf.
No.
They
No.
brought back the wolf. They're bringing back the woolly mammoth with the
dire
little.
wolf.
I saw the
yeah,
mouse.
The
mouse,
dire
yeah.
wolf.
The little woolly mammoth mice
Mouse,
are
yeah.
scary. They're so hairy. No, no.
No. I've seen
No.
enough. I'm not that curious.
I know. I'm like, why have these
No.
people not
I'd go.
watched
I'd go.
Jurassic
I'd go
World?
in a
Like, don't they
heartbeat.
feel
I'd go.
bad
I'd go
working
in a
for these
heartbeat.
companies? No.
It's like a science experiment. What did I say? Overrated flower.
Dahlia.
Baby's breath. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Underrated flower.
Chrysanthemums.
Yeah. I echo chrysanthemums.
Love it. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
You know, everyone loves to say fly,
Mm-hmm.
or, what I think would be interesting would just be to forget everything.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Severance.
At a certain time of day.
Yeah,
Like, you just push a
exactly.
button.
Yeah, you
Severance.
walk.
Exactly.
That's what she's
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
watch
You
that
walk
show?
out of the building,
No,
Mike.
that's what that show's about. Like
No.
you go to work and you have a brain for work, and then your brain turns off and you leave.
Walk out that building, Mike, and not think about Jeffers is impossible.
I think I'd like to be like Flash, like, like
Speed.
go back in time or go forward in time.
True.
I watched a show when I was a little kid. It was this, The Girl, the Golden Watch. And he would hit the watch. It was like his grandfather's watch. And everyone would freeze.
Mm.
Time would freeze, except for him.
Right.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
there was an impactful moment to where they're playing beach volleyball. And you know what the 20-year-old did? He
Sure,
went and
sure.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a cool one
That
too.
would work. There could be a whole. I guess that's the boys of the superheroes that do
Yeah.
naughty things. Okay.
Yeah.
Pick a TV or movie or historical figure to have lunch with.
Dolly Parton. Although it would be nice to have lunch with Lenny Kravitz
With-
and Mimi.
And Mimi
Ah,
together.
yeah, that's right. Did we send her the other cutout? Did she?
Yes.
She got, right. That was,
Yep.
yeah, cool. That was you.
We're gonna have Lenny Kravitz meet people at the Women in Flowers. We'll both pick our.
I love that.
That would work. You guys just be Bahamas.
We're gonna get on the Drew Barrymore
Bahamas
show
looking
with
for
Lenny.
him.
You know, I think I would say Rosa Parks. It was the very first person that came to my mind.
Good answer. What is your go-to late night drunk food?
Liquid IV.
Probably a
Because
bag of chips.
Bag of chips, nice.
What kind of chips? What kind of chips? What are your favorite chips?
Like anything. I feel like once I have a drink in me, like all rules, like everything. It's for like ice cream, all the junk food, like
Right. Diets go out
free
the
for
window
all.
once the drinks start.
Yeah.
That also happens to me when I travel, and that's why I try not to travel because I'm thinner that way.
It's worth it.
Like the calories don't count in that area code.
yeah. I like that.
What kind of flowers do you want at your funeral?
all flowers, everything.
You know, first off, I don't want a funeral. I want a party.
Okay.
And I want everybody from all the different parts of my life there, you know, from grade school to, you know, wherever I end up in a retirement center.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would love is like almost like a design station or a flower bar to where people could make their flowers to represent the joy that I've brought in their lives.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Damn,
would.
that's
No,
Did you just
I-
set the bar super
Wow.
high?
So-
Put that in the wrong
Oh,
funeral, though.
Shit.
Lisa,
Wow.
I did that for Gay Smith's funeral. She asked for that, and me and Jim, and it was funny to watch Jim
Really?
design. Yes, she did that. She
Wow.
paid
Oh,
for
I love
the
that.
whole downstairs of the church had stations for people to create all of the beautiful flowers that were at her, and it wasn't a funeral, it was a memorial
Yeah.
service, right? And
Yeah.
it was incredible because you could just pick what you felt represented, and it was funny to see that so many people picked the purple or the yellow because those colors really radiated who she was. And I'm
Yeah.
always thinking like,
Yeah.
man, I wish she would have seen it, but in some way I believe she did. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's awesome. I love that.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Love that.
And that, I mean, honestly, I didn't know about these questions. You know, I'm a trailblazer. That came out of rawness right there. Like that's really that would make me the happiest person up there looking down. And I love Gay too for a moment, just
Yeah.
a moment of like,
So
what a, she's awesome. And she's up there looking down on us.
If you could suggest a future guest for the podcast, who would they be?
You guys have had so many. I actually had to think about this because you've had so many people, but I don't know if you know Stacey Lee Banks
Mm-hmm.
in DC. Like she has a really unique story, her family story. They're on the historic U Street, and she's a quiet one. You know, I go after the quiet ones, and she's a quiet leader.
They have a movie,
And-
right? They have a movie about her family's
Yeah.
store, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Thanks.
Like a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would suggest Austin Bryant, and he is just he's so brilliant and outgoing and passionate. He's a fellow Floridian. He has Heart of Florida greenhouses up in northern Florida.
Nice. All right, cool. That's
He
a-
also he also participates in CAD, and he was really
Yeah.
good there. And in SAF, he's on a lot of the committees.
Good
I
guy.
think.
He's brilliant.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
So
yeah.
smart.
I wouldn't call him quiet because once you get to know him, he's
No.
not quiet.
Just gotta pull him out of his shell a little
He's
bit.
funny.
But he's got
funny.
he's
Yeah.
got his magic tricks in a bag, and we had the pleasure to have dinner with him several times together, and I still giggle
Yeah.
and learned a lot.
That's awesome. Great suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to get in contact with you, maybe it's a fellow woman who wants to join the Women of Flowers. Maybe it's Drew Barrymore herself, and she's like, I gotta have you on the show.
She's
How
a
do
listener.
they reach out
she's,
to you?
she's like she regularly listens.
That's a really good question because we're different ways, but you can email me, email Jen.
Mhm.
We're the same. It's our name at 50 Flowers. And of course, follow us on LinkedIn. Jen's really active on LinkedIn. She does a great job. What's your handle?
For you. I don't
Yeah.
even know.
I don't either. That's really kind of
It's your
funny.
name.
We don't
It's
even know
your
our
name.
handle.
Yeah.
We're on LinkedIn. Yeah, we have a WhatsApp for,
We also have an
and we have
Instagram page.
Instagram, women. Yeah, Instagram, Women and Flowers.
Women in Flowers, yeah. To underscore Women in Flowers.
Okay.
And soon we're going to have, we're going to have our own network online. I would give us 6 weeks.
Cool.
Don't you love how I gave us an extra couple weeks?
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank
Normally
you for
I'd be
that.
like, in 2 weeks it'll be done.
We just got an official email set up. It's hello@womenandflowers.com.
That's where you can reach
Nice.
out to us. There
Yeah.
you go.
That's the
Hello
right
at
spot.
womenandflowers.com. There you go.
Yeah, we're slowly coming together. We're growing so fast it's hard to keep up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it goes. But it's all right. Slow and steady. You got this.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just the great thing is it doesn't fall on deaf ears.
No.
We are listening.
Phenomenal. You guys are doing a great job. Like I said, when you guys all get together, the synergy is amazing. You guys are doing phenomenal. Keep going. Keep running in that direction.
Thank you
guys.
very
Thank
much.
you all so much.
Thank you for
Thanks.
being part
Yeah.
of, for joining us. This is a really great episode. We probably could have gone for 3-4 hours before we realized,
Of course.
Thank you
Okay.
guys for listening. Thank you, listeners.
Bye. Thank you for
guys
having
being
us.
part.
Lovely.
Joelle, Mimi, Ryan, Fern, Liza, Jennifer, thank you guys. Have a fantastic day.